Google services experienced a rare outage Friday. According to Google's own tracking, the downtime lasted only a few minutes, but it hit all of its major services, from search to its Office app suite. And on the internet, services as popular as Google's only need to be down for a few minutes to generate a significant reaction. ZDNet compiled panic and jokes at Google's expense, flying in equal measure on Twitter. But it gets bigger. Web analytics firm Go2 registered a precipitous drop in traffic right as the outage occurred. Its numbers suggest Google's apps going down caused a 40% decline in global internet traffic, at least for those 5 minutes. Google has yet to give a reason for the outage beyond directing inquiries to its tracking dashboard. This brief downtime came right on the heels of another Google stumble, that time from the servers that direct traffic for the internet. Domain name system servers, or DNS servers, associate website names with the appropriate IP addresses. They let you get to websites like, say, Newsy by typing out newsy.com instead of having to remember a string of numbers. Google maintains some of these servers, and on Thursday they stopped working for about 20 minutes. Anyone trying to navigate the internet through Google's DNS didn't get anywhere. The servers are up and running now, and Google has instructions on its website for anyone who wants to change their DNS to prevent or recover from similar downtimes in the future. For Newsy, I'm Logan Tittle.
Amazon.com has become the latest high-profile website to go offline in recent days. Visitors to the U.S. shopping site were greeted with a message saying, "Whoops. We're very sorry," alongside a 500 service unavailable error report. The site returned online about half an hour after the problem was first flagged by users of the news site Reddit. Amazon could not be reached for comment at this time. The firm's UK site was not affected by the issue, however its Canadian homepage also showed an error message. The support section of Intel's website and some pages which are only accessible to the computer chip maker's staff also became unavailable for a period on Monday. A spokeswoman said the firm believed it to be an internal issue and a coincidence that it had occurred shortly after Amazon's problem. It follows Google's 2-minute downtime on Friday. That affected the firm's main search page as well as its Gmail email service, YouTube video site and drive storage product. Analytics firm Go2 reported the fault caused a 40% dip in worldwide internet traffic. Google has not explained the cause. Microsoft's Outlook.com and the New York Times website have also faced problems. Microsoft blamed a 3-day-long disruption to its email product on a failure in its caching temporary storage service. It said this resulted in a flood of traffic that our services did not handle properly. The New York Times has said that an internal issue with its servers meant that the newspaper became unavailable for 2 hours on Wednesday. It's very unusual to see such a number of high-profile websites all suffering peak time outages within the course of a few days of each other, said Chris Green, principal technology analyst at the Davies Murphy Group consultancy. People are going to be very interested to know exactly what the reasons were for the incidents that are still unexplained because the implications are huge. We've seen everything from users being unable to see their email to visitors and third-party retailers who use Amazon's marketplace being unable to buy and sell goods, all happening seemingly with no warning.
After 3 days of wrestling, Microsoft says it's fixed the last of persistent downtime issues that plagued its Outlook email and SkyDrive cloud storage services. The Next Web reports the first users reported problems as early as Thursday, August 14th. Microsoft says ActiveSync, which automatically updates devices that use Microsoft services, experienced failures that caused connected devices to send too much traffic to its servers. Outlook and SkyDrive were swamped and temporarily shut down. The Verge reports Microsoft had them back online Thursday, but still had to wade through a backlog of ActiveSync information. To fix it, Microsoft was forced to block Exchange ActiveSync for a short time, giving it breathing room to fix web access before turning EAS back on. Engadget explains it wasn't as easy as just flipping a switch. Microsoft had to bring the system back up slowly to prevent another wave of connection attempts to the fragile servers. Microsoft is reportedly upgrading its network capacity and error handling systems to prevent similar downtimes in the future. but some damage has already been done. A writer for TechCrunch says if Microsoft is going to urge users toward its cloud services, they need to be more reliable. If the outage continues for more than a few hours or so, it undermines Microsoft's cloud premise. Microsoft has put SkyDrive into an increasingly important position in the Windows environment. To have it go down is subpar. In a statement on its service status page, the company says it's caught completely up and has repeatedly apologized to its customers for prolonged inconvenience. For Newsy, I'm Elizabeth Hagedorn. Multiple sources, a broader view.
John Voorhees with Keen on the Markets down at the CBOE. John, let me ask you what kind of problems that this has created for your business down there, or everybody on the CBOE, because you guys are all trading a lot of options.
Yeah, you know, it's somewhat chaotic given the fact that you're unable to trade options for Nasdaq listed equities at this point. You know, I just think this highlights the issue we saw. We saw the issue earlier this week with Goldman. As you pointed out, we saw that with Knight Capital last year, nearly going bankrupt. As we see this greater emphasis on technology, it really seems to be a call to action. Are the fail-safes that are in place enough? And, you know, as you see today, clearly they aren't. So there may need to be a third wall or even a fourth wall to prevent this sort of thing from happening going forward.
What could you do? I mean, right now there's a problem with basically a clearing system, a computer clearing system. You need these kinds of systems in place, right? So how could you work around this kind of issue that Nasdaq seems to be having?
You know, I think my advice would be to have a second system, a failover, and even if that, which I'm sure the Nasdaq does have in place. So my question would be, why didn't it switch over to the secondary system?
And you're not able to do basically any business today until this gets resolved. Is that right?
That's correct.
You can trade options, though, that are that are linked to other securities, non-Nasdaq securities. Is that possible?
Yes, it's possible to trade options which are linked to non-Nasdaq securities. Correct.
All right, John. Thanks very much, John Voorhees.